Why are some students excellent nonfiction readers while others are not? The answer boils down to aggressive versus passive reading. Far too often, students passively read every word within a text, underlining indiscriminately or not at all. When asked what they have read, they often say, "I don't know," yet continue to read the passage without any real comprehension. Then, in an inefficient, time-consuming manner, students have to read and reread, sometimes 4 times, to gain understanding. This video is about becoming an aggressive non-fiction reader, knowing when to skip information, how to skim a passage, and what to look for actively. The goal of an aggressive reader is to spend less time on a passage but gain more understanding. This video will teach you how to search for the clues, create a reading map, and find the main idea quickly. An aggressive reader understands that nonfiction reading is not pleasure reading and adjusts his or her mindset accordingly. Aggressive readers talk to themselves as they read. What does this word mean? Why did the author just write this? What is the main idea in this paragraph? Do I need to read these next sentences? To be aggressive, you need to think of yourself as a detective and not as a reader. A detective searches for clues in order to solve the mystery. In this case, the mystery is understanding the claim of the passage. The 3 key questions that should constantly run through your brain are: what is the main idea? What is the tone? Is it positive, negative, or neutral? And is this information important? Should I read closely or speed up and skim? Think of yourself as a train. A train leaves the station slowly, then speeds up, and then slows down again when it gets to its destination. Just like a train, you'll spend the most time at the beginning and end of the passage. You should slowly read the introduction, asking yourself the 3 questions just mentioned. As soon as you figure out what the passage is about, speed up. Move more quickly through the body paragraphs. Then, slow way down in the conclusion, focusing closely on this final paragraph. Often the claim is summarized or finalized in this important last paragraph. Think of the topic sentences as stops along the track. Topic sentences provide you with the main idea of each body paragraph. Therefore, read slowly and underline the topic sentence of each paragraph before picking up speed again. Before discussing further, let's take a moment to highlight the importance of underlining, as this is the key technique you should employ while reading a passage. The act of underlining is not to make a passage look pretty. The purpose of underlining is to focus your eyes on a specific line or word. Consequently, you should always underline slowly and deliberately. Many times students just run a quick, haphazard line under sentences. This is not what we consider underlining. Often, an aggressive reader will read part of a sentence and then recognize that this sentence contains a clue. The aggressive reader then goes back to the beginning of the sentence and deliberately and slowly underlines the sentence, thinking about what it means and if this sentence is important to understanding the overall passage. One of the most important clues that you are searching for and underlining within a nonfiction passage are the birthday words. Birthday words are thought reversers. Why do we call them birthday words? Because they are a gift that will help you read for comprehension as well as answer questions quickly. They are also called birthday words because they spell birthday. But, instead, rather, though, however, despite, although, yet. These are the birthday words. Make sure you commit these words to memory, because being able to locate these words within the passage is key to reading a nonfiction passage aggressively. Whenever you see these small but important words, you must circle the thought reverser and underline the entire sentence. Trust me, this is an important gift. These thought reversers indicate important sentences that contain answers and important information. When you skim a passage, you should slow down when you see a thought reverser and read the sentence closely. This sentence will help lead you to the main idea of the paragraph and/or the passage. Another important clue an aggressive nonfiction reader hunts for are sentences with weird punctuation. Weird punctuation includes dashes, rhetorical questions, colons, italics, and parentheses. And sentences containing such punctuation are all important in the aggressive skimming process. These are the sentences that you deliberately underline. Technically, these punctuation marks are not weird, but we call them weird because they are not as standard or common as the other punctuation marks like the comma, semicolon, or period. Circle the dashes, rhetorical questions, colon, italics, and parentheses, and underline the sentence in which this punctuation appears. Remember, you might be skimming, and you might have to backtrack and reread a sentence containing one of these weird punctuation marks. Now let us put this all together and see how the skimming process creates a reading map. Remember, your job is to keep asking the three questions: what is the main idea, what is the tone, and is the information important? If we were to apply the aggressive nonfiction reading techniques to this example passage, we'd first read the introduction. When doing so, we see the passage is about the growth of democracies. Then we underline the topic sentences, and continue to speed up while remembering to circle and underline thought reversers and weird punctuation. Finally, we slow down and read the conclusion. This is an example of how the passage will look after you've implemented the skimming method. Note that we have not only circled the birthday words and weird punctuation, but we have also underlined these sentences. If we just read the introduction and the sentences underlined, nothing else, you will completely understand this passage, and there is no need to focus on anything else. The key to the skimming strategy is to know when to speed up and when to slow down, especially within the body paragraphs. This skill might take some practice. Remember, you don't have to read incomplete sentences. Instead, read the start of a sentence while asking yourself if the information the sentence contains is important. If not, skip the rest of the sentence. Your judgment and speed at which you process the information will improve the more you practice. A good way to learn how to skip parts of the sentences or entire sentences is to practice reading horizontally and vertically. Horizontal reading is when you read every word within the sentence, so your eyes travel horizontally across the page. Vertical reading, on the other hand, is when you only take note of the important words in the paragraph, and thus your eyes move more quickly down the page. The sentences you want to read horizontally are the sentences that contain clues and that you underline so you can read carefully. Note that although you will read the introduction and conclusion horizontally, you will not underline these sentences unless they are important or they contain birthday words or weird punctuation. Read vertically the body paragraphs after you carefully read the topic sentences. Work at running your eye through the middle of the paragraph. Train your eye to focus on birthday words and weird punctuation because this is where you need to stop and read horizontally. When reading nonfiction passages, you should employ one of the following methods based on how easy the passage is and how strong a reader you are. Creating a frame is what this video has focused on. Read the introduction, topic sentences, and conclusion while skimming for the clues. Sometimes, a reader might read the introduction and jump immediately to the conclusion and then go back and focus on the body paragraphs. Creating a frame is the best way to read a passage. Yet, sometimes a passage is very difficult. If the questions are difficult, then zone. Split the passage into 2 or 3 sections. Read a section and answer the questions relating to this section. Repeat until you've completed the passage. With that, we'll conclude our video on how to be an aggressive nonfiction reader. Remember to check out our channel for more helpful strategies and how-to videos. Finally, be sure to go to www.wilsondailyprep.com for more online test prep, including daily SAT and ACT practice questions. Daily practice is the key to testing success.